I'm here.
But I can't. Oh, there we go. I couldn't hear myself because apparently today is newfound technical difficulties. We've reached a new level of technical difficulties. Gone are the old technical difficulties. Now are the new ones. Anyways, we're here with Rainbow Shelter News. I'm Ozma in the Dark, still utilizing she, they pronouns for the purposes of, clearly for the purposes of converting everyone to being trans, because that's definitely how that works and not an absurd idea. Here with me is Christy. How are you doing?
I'm still transing everyone I meet. I'm working on it. Except my girlfriend. She's fine the way she is.
And tonight we're starting in the UK just to get that over with. Now, naturally, homophobia still exists in England, and probably throughout the UK as well. You know, what with the gay guy getting, just rejected and belittled for having Crohn's disease, and ending up having to, have the surgeries that are helpful to survive, and some surgeries went wrong, but that isn't really good reason to be like, nah, it's gross that you exist. It's kind of a dick move to people.
Yeah. I think yeah, the LGBT Alliance and all of that kind of crapster.
Oh, we're getting to that soon.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they keep going on that they're, for gay rights, but what they are really doing is normalizing people fucking with other people.
Yeah.
I mean, renormalize.
And not the good kind of fucking.
Yeah.
The bad kind.
It's just being renormalized. It's very disturbing. And
yeah.
I don't get that. Or maybe they do and they're okay with it. I haven't really decided.
Well, I suspect with a lot of cruel organizations that there is an element of egotism that, just finds its way into things, and I don't think they care that they're hurting others. I don't think the people at the top care if they're hurting others. I think various people who might believe them initially realize or are able to get convinced about the ethical implications, but no, I don't think the people on top care. No. Like Maya Forstater.
Yeah, I got into a bit of a row with her on Twitter. That was fun.
Yeah. So basically, she's arguing that they should misgender. She's arguing that she should misgender anyone trans.
Yep. Of course. Why be human?
Yeah. And because they want to, it's just that they want to they know it upsets people who are trans, so they want to be able to do it legally without repercussions.
Yeah. I mean, we're
I still like the 2019 Employment Tribunal, who said that at the time their anti-trans views are not worthy of respect in a democratic society.
Yes, I love
which
that.
I kind of agree with.
I don't kind of agree with it. I absolutely agree with it.
Yeah.
And pardon my voice today. I have a cold. That's why my voice sounds deep, not because I haven't just woke up.
Oh, I hope you get better.
Yeah, it's straight days. Which is also another reason for not appearing on camera, because I could probably fix myself up enough, but you don't want to see my nose dripping.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of that argument was that she's making is, yeah, she just wants to misgender trans people and is appealing that 2019 ruling, which I don't think that she'll succeed on.
No.
And also, although, speaking of what the fuck, England, England and Wales, LGBT Alliance is finally recognized as charity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I commented on this before when I was trying to find out if National Front was considered a charity. You know, it's considered a political party.
Which not super different, but also due to the charity rules in Scotland, there's no way it would be able to become a charity in Scotland. It's like legit just.
Oh, poor JK must be crying in her Cheerios. Or Toastios. What do they call them there?
I don't know. Fortunately, this also makes it so LGBT Alliance technically has to follow certain rules.
Yes.
Otherwise, they can get in real legal trouble.
You think they're
which could be entertaining. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing the LGBT Alliance get taken down in court.
What do you have at hand any of the specific rules they have to follow? It'll get them in shit.
So they need to so it needs to report all the income it's getting and what it's spending and where. Staff salary and benefits, income from and work done outside the UK, income or contracts from central government or local authorities. And they have to report all that information, and I assume it'll become public knowledge as well. But yeah, it's shit, I know it's lower. Or no, is it not in this one? I think they just have to say... Oh, fuck. It's like really loose rules that... And they're making an argument... They made an argument that they were essentially fighting for LGBTQ stuff.
It says that the commission looked that direct quoting here. The commission looked at whether LGBT Alliance's purpose inevitably involves the denigration of the rights of transgender people and considered that it did not.
Yeah.
Except that's their whole gig.
Yeah, I know, but they always say it's not their gig.
Okay, well, I'm not touching you is a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're also they were told if I recall correctly, possibly from a different article about this, they were told that essentially you've done some denigration of trans people. Stop that. And
I'm turning into my mom.
Otherwise, you might lose your charity status. Like there's like a million different ways they could lose the charity status. This is likely a temporary thing, and it wouldn't surprise me if they get a lot of donations from evangelical Christian groups. So,
yeah, I think.
Yeah, so it's not like yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if once that information comes out and it realizes that they're not actually spending any money to help any lesbian, gay, or bi people, because I guess they have to report that stuff after they become a charity. So by the at the start of next year, things could get really interesting with relation to that.
It's I've got so little to say about them. I just want them gone.
Yeah.
I mean, all I have to do, you want to prove that they're not denigrating to trans people? Take a look at my fucking timeline on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know we saw this before, but people didn't hear as much. People heard a lot more about the stripping of trans rights and less about the reinstating of some of the parental ability, which isn't necessarily a good thing, because they amended the Kirabella case to allow parents to give consent for children to be started on puberty blockers, because the original case, it did not seem like that was the case. So it's just it's one of those things where it's just not talked about as much.
Until you just said it, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, and that's not good, because if people don't know that some of their rights have been reinstated, they don't know that's an option, and that can cause a number of other well, it can cause a number of other problems, and especially doesn't help that the BBC have LGB Alliance as that. Well, they're treated like a regular organization that tells them helpful stuff, because the BBC is anti-trans.
I've noticed.
Yeah, but yeah, there needs to be stuff like that needs to be spread around more, because of what I said before. I'm
for bringing back glitter bombs. That worked well when I was young.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just hang out in London, because London Trans Pride is well, I mean, they're coming back big in the UK to protest the whole blatant disregard for trans rights.
Well, for me to get to London, I just have to cross the bridge and go about. But I don't think you mean London, Ontario.
Yeah. I do mean London, England, which, for me to reach it, I would have to run across half of the United States and then swim all the way to England.
Oh, I can take
Don't dare me. I'll try it. No, I'm just kidding.
I can take the St. Lawrence Seaway, I suppose. And now.
But I mean, like, the fighting for trans rights is, like, a big thing for Pride, and it's good that, and I don't know how much of it was the leadership change that happened recently, but it's good that they have, gone back to what a lot of organizations started as, which, I mean, rights being under attack doesn't help, but yeah.
This is not on our agenda, but just to throw this out there because it's gonna probably come up in our agenda fairly soon.
Sure.
The argument going around in the anti-trans circles now is that Stonewall England only started recognizing trans people in 2015, so we weren't a part of that.
That
is not true.
Is so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah. No.
That's just lying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
it's gonna come up. I'm pretty sure, but
yeah. Well, that lying apparently affected Rose McGowan.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I don't want to talk about Rose McGowan.
Okay. She's here though. She's staring at me.
Yeah.
Calling the Democrats a deep cult and spouting well, I mean, she's a TERF.
Rose McGowan has been awful for a very long time. I'm very sorry that she got Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And no one deserves Harvey Weinstein. Trust me, I know him. So,
yeah.
I knew him when I was really young. But there's so many problems with anything that comes out of Rose McGowan's mouth that it's for years I've been why has anybody listened to her on anything, and now she's come out and now she said something absolutely wrong.
Yeah. And suggesting that the Democratic Party functions less like a cult than the Republican Party, because it's less about defending the organization over anything and more about, there's a lot more disagreement in the Democratic Party, which is good, but also means that people are more likely to be fighting for their values. Obviously there are people who just see the D or see the R and just be like, check mark. But yeah, we're less hierarchical. Yeah.
And it's just to, and yes, I'm a Democrat, so I've been registered Democrat for many a year.
I mean, technically I'm registered as Democrat, but like I don't like them.
Well, since Newt Gingrich, I have not voted any Republican.
Well, I hate the Republicans. I really don't like the Democrats.
The primary structure, which is not a is more often in Republican a winner take all per state. Although they're changing that, but and the Democrats are not.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know about hierarchies and structures and cult. And I will say nothing. Yeah, I was about to say something that would get me banned for life from all social media, but
Okay. Well, I don't want you banned for life. Well, certainly, I don't want you banned any time from social media.
yes. Talk about Rose McGowan for a second, with apologies. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I had already closed that and was going to start talking about Andrew Yang's cringe.
Oh, talk about Andrew Yang. Go for it. Wait for me.
Oh, Rose McGowan grew up raised in a sex cult. His sense of norms is way off. Yeah, no, I could see that. That might make it difficult to ascertain what is or isn't a cult. Yeah, that certainly doesn't help. Also, I didn't quite hear what Christy said with regards to the Andrew Yang thing. That said, I don't want to take forever. So, I'm going to sneakily mention about Andrew Yang. Referring to himself as outside of the LGBTQ community is, it's super cringe. I genuinely do love you and your community, he said. You're so human and beautiful. You make New York City special. I have no idea how we ever lose to the Republicans, given that all of you all are frankly in like leadership roles all over the Democratic Party. So, wrong on so many levels. Sorry, I started talking about Andrew Yang.
Oh, that's fine, and I apologize. I'm mentally back up to doing this, but I am physically apparently not. So
that's fine.
I'm going to disappear intermittently, fully not again.
Yeah, and that was just, I mean, that was just silly cringe.
Oh,
also, Tennessee CEO got fired after allegedly harassing a teenage boy who wore a dress to prom. So, yeah. At least a little bit of accountability has started to occur.
That would be lovely. Yes, I'm old enough where, here, back in my day, there was at least two people who wanted to go to prom together that weren't allowed to. I went to art school, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, in high school, when I went to high school, like, someone got suspended for wearing a dress to school, so, like...
Well, I got kicked out for wearing a mohawk, but...
yeah. Well, people got in trouble for wearing a hat.
I did wear, however, one of the gayest things ever to prom, so...
Nice.
It was designed by a gay fashion designer I was dating.
So, yeah, I assume the company fired the CEO because it's just bad publicity. And they're like, nah, let's not have that.
Yeah, well, that's the one I didn't read. What, which company and...
Visual? I don't know the company.
Did it say any specifics to this?
There's a tweet here. After investigating the matter and speaking to individuals involved, the Visual BOD has chosen to terminate Mr. Johnson from his position as CEO effective immediately. Jerry Andrade, our president and COO, will lead the company through this important time.
I like that it's Tennessee.
Yeah, it is nice that it's Tennessee, I'll be honest.
They've
had enough negative shit.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a couple of good people. You know, I have a large network of people, and people come to me, and the people I've been unable to help. I've been able to help people in Alabama, but not in Tennessee.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so, at least the American Medical Association is also on board, obviously, saying that, you know, all those governors need to stop the anti-trans stuff because it's against medical practice. So yeah, not that they'll be listened to because of that. However, some of the anti-trans bills have gone quiet, I know.
Well, that's good. You know.
And the Arizona governor vetoes strict sex education legislation.
They're having enough problems right now in Arizona.
Yeah. Too many problems.
The Arkansas one, which is
yeah, like fuck the Arkansas one.
Yeah, that's, although Asa Hutchinson, for as crappy as he is, he's been on the other side. He's been on our side of this.
So his people say that he'll probably sign it.
Well, well. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
I didn't read the particular thing. He's been mostly. Other than
yeah.
He keeps misgendering people. He's mostly on the people are humans. You don't get to treat humans like that.
I mean, for one, like, all of these are potentially going to go to higher courts and get thrown out, much like the anti-trans law from Connecticut. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was just sort of like the judge saw it and was like, nope, fuck that.
Yeah, it'll be a big note from the courts.
Yeah, U.S. District Court. So likely once it gets up to U.S. District Court, anywhere, most of these laws are going to be thrown out because of Supreme Court rulings.
Yeah, they've been striking down a fair amount of these, which good.
Yeah, which that's a good thing, at the very least.
Justice Amy Coney Barrett and Justice Clarence Thomas wish to reopen the entire LGBT question, which is like the Jewish question, only, you know.
Yeah.
Call it. And good on Roberts for telling them no. I mean, I don't say good on Roberts for a lot, but good on Roberts, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This was okay. That was the same law. This is my mess up because it said the Trump administration stuff, but yeah, this is just more about the Connecticut law. That was unceremoniously dismissed.
And they're being Trump judges are doing this too, which good.
Yeah.
and yeah, there's so much to say about the legal stuff. I mean, we should figure out a way to get Andrew.
And like, I mean, when it comes to some of the legal stuff, shit, I almost just randomly shouted out a YouTube channel that I watch. Okay, I watch a lot of Legal Eagle. Okay, sure. When it comes to legal stuff, it's a good channel.
I have about 30 channels that I get notifications for right when they drop, and that's one of them. So
yeah,
what I was saying, Andrew, is the podcast, which is I'm blanking on. Why am I blanking on it?
I don't know. It's I almost called it a Monday. It's Wednesday. I'm
mentally up to it, like I said, but physically not so much. My brain is swimming a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't take legal advice from a podcast guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember who that is. While you're looking that up, I mean, Biden administration scraps the anti-trans shelter protection. That whole
it's
law.
opening argument.
Opening argument? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Biden scrapping that awful law is nice. I mean, he's been on a run when it comes to trans rights.
Yeah. And here's to all the people in our circles who say that he's going to be just as bad. He's no white guy. Well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he's going to be just as bad to everybody. I suspect
he's to the left of Obama, for God's sakes.
Yeah, although I'm not sure the people in the ICE camps are going to notice much, since he doesn't push very hard on that.
He is pushing hard on that. They dismantled the infrastructure for that, and it's kind of the original infrastructure. So they're doing, they're trying to get people into, hotels at the very least, and dismantle.
No, maybe I just didn't read about that.
Yeah. It's. And it also requires a lot of it requires going through Senate Finance, which it's not going to get through to fix it. So yes, I believe in dismantling ICE, but I don't even understand the concept of borders, so
yeah, I know.
They talk about, which is funny because, again, my mother is an immigration lawyer, and it's
yeah, and also when it comes, like I said, Biden's on a run at the very least with trans rights. I know that. Yep. Saying that's unconstitutional to put trans women in men's prison in filing. So,
yep.
Considering it cruel and unusual punishment to put a trans woman into a man's prison.
Yeah, a lot of things. Well, yes, this will get me yelled at, but I'm going to just go with this. Okay. A lot of things that are said about a lot of people are having to work within systems. And I will grant you our current vice president was not good on trans anything for a while, but she had to work within the system as it existed.
Yeah, and that's not the main criticism I would make of her anyways.
And she eventually pulled back from that, or tried to push back on it, and the systems as they were standing. And Gavin Newsom has done a lot for fixing those systems within an ungovernable state, you know.
Yeah, like I said, my problem with her is always more the anti-sex work attitude.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I don't want. That's a subject you have to stay away from around me, though, as you are aware.
Yeah. Well, I forgot.
No, I'm not. I'm so not crabbing at you. I'm not even a little. It's just.
Oh, apparently, Harris is not great on disability rights either. I'm not as aware of this, but
and that's more tricky.
So, but like,
it's one of those that I know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to actually comment on it. And being disabled myself, it's kind of
yeah, well, I mean, you could make argument. You can make an argument that everyone on the Fluid Voice is disabled.
Yes, I could.
Anyways, the final story. Lisa Murkowski's GOP primary challenger is an anti-LGBTQ zealot opposed to medicine and vampires. Now, this is an important story. The vampire menace is like a dangerous, untalked about thing that
just doesn't want anybody sucking anything, that's all.
Yeah, and vampires are too sexually attractive for her, and she just can't deal with it.
I mean, Brad Pitt vampire.
Yeah, the person that Anne Rice said nope before filming, and then saw the filming and was like, yes, please. But
excuse me.
And Twilight's evil, apparently, and not for the reasons most people say it's evil.
Oh my goodness.
Satanic propaganda. Perfect example how the enemy twists, perverts, and ridicules the things of God. Pharmaceutical products were a product of witchcraft practices, and there's a link between drugs and witchcraft, which just makes me want to get the vaccine more. I'm going to be really happy in about an hour 15. I mean, it takes a couple weeks for the witchcraft to kick in, but like, I'm really pumped for this. I really want that vaccine.
Well, it's about 3 weeks for me, and I only have one pentagram up, so. It's just threatening us with a good time. Lisa Murkowski has been consistently lucky in her opponents. Although Sarah Palin's going to be running, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Alaska's a funny state. I mean, it's a socialist state, full of libertarians. And
I wish I knew. I wish I still knew those people I knew from Alaska as a kid. I could ask them more about it. I'm sure the family moved away from Alaska to Minnesota for a reason.
Yeah, Alaska is just a funky place.
Okay, wait. I just read something here which I didn't notice before. Around 2002, she wrote, "Some would say I was born conservative. It's not a choice." So she's like, you got a choice between if you're gay or not, but conservative or Democrat? No, that's not a choice.
Although there is a case to be made.
I know, and it relates to a lot of things.
There's a neurological case to be made. This is one of the things I was studying way back in the dark ages of when I was doing the neuropsychology research. There is a case to be made as far as what sections of the brain grow most.
Yeah, although that potentially is largely affected by environment, so...
Largely, yeah.
So it's one of those things where you could pray the conservative away.
I'm just at this point. I'm just fucking around, but there's a Scientific American article that I want to go back and find again. That was interesting. That goes into this. I will probably have it ready at some point soon because I'm gonna. Now I have to research it again.
Well, yeah, and that being said, we are reaching our end point of this show. Obviously, we're here on this channel. I'm here at osmandark.com. Christy, you're in the Christy Abbey and Chris Abbey music.
Christy Abbey and Chris Abbey music.
Sorry.
And I don't have anything up for a while yet. I was in a very bad state, and I'm starting to get back into the groove here. However, I'm still sick, so which is probably because I was so run down from being kind of
Yeah. That said, like, comment, and subscribe, especially the subscribe button. It's like a really nice, pretty button. I mean, so is the like and comment button. You know you want to press the buttons. You know you want to. Anyways,
hit the bell and you'll get notifications when we're on. I got one about 15 minutes after we started. So... this Sunday we will be talking with Sister Rose. Oh, okay.
About what? I don't know, because I don't think I thought of a subject yet, but I will by Friday.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, and this week is Sister Rose, and next week is Tempest Crane, so...
Oh, also good.
Yeah, I really want to like, honestly, the Tempest Crane one, I did have a subject. It's music. The music. We haven't talked much about music and the music industry, and like Tempest Crane, I'm sure you'll be able to be there, and it'll just be like a fun
I play guitar once in a while.
Yeah. I heard you playing before the show.
Well, not really. No,
I mean, it's more than me, so. And I've got a guitar right behind me, too. My dad's old guitar.
I got one right within hand's reach, so.
I mean, technically mine is also within hand's reach.
Oh,
But
you that's it.
this is going to turn into a trying to do music show. No, we've already mentioned the end of things. Have a wonderful time, everybody, and take care of yourself, and hopefully you can have a good rest of the day, and get your shots. Shots.
We like.
Oh wow, the transition's really not working.
Yeah, well. That sounds like a personal problem.